Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most prestigious evening in podcasts. Welcome to the season finale, the third annual edition of the Cinema Effect Awards.
Yay!
Woo!
Oh my god, the third one.
It's so exciting, isn't it?
3 years of this, man.
It's crazy. It's
I feel
crazy.
like I say it every week at this point because of how long we've been going.
So do I.
Like 3 years.
And
Yeah.
I'm never going to stop saying it either,
No.
just so you know. I'm going to say something in the outro that might blow your mind as well. In that vein, just saying. It blew my mind when I wrote it down anyway. I'm Zach, and I'm joined by my fellow Hard Simmer appreciator, Jaden.
Good morning, I guess, when we're recording this, but good evening when it goes out.
Yeah.
But you're not going to listen to it in the evening because, you know, spooky
In
listens to it the next
kayfabe,
day.
it's evening. In kayfabe, it's evening.
Yeah.
So let's try and uphold that now, protect the business, okay?
Mm.
And we've also got JC, Jesus Christ, John Cena, aka Fitzy, aka Liam.
Hello, how you going?
I'm good. I had to call you Jesus this week because you're back. You returned. You're resurrected.
Or maybe I was never anyway, you just didn't see me, you know, John Cena. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was never
Just stayed
anyway.
silent the entire week last week.
Yeah.
I'm good at
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Cool. How was Sydney?
It was good. It was like near Sydney, and like a beach town kind of thing. But like it has like massive mountains. We're in this
Holy shit.
like place that was like up on a mountain looking over the seaside.
The Blue Mountains, perhaps, or no?
I don't know what it's called. They weren't blue, but they're green.
Can confirm the mountains weren't blue. Cool. Well, that sounds amazing. But you didn't climb the Harbour Bridge, no?
No, we didn't even really have that much time in Sydney. It was kind of a suburb of Sydney anyway. It was like far to the never
Gotcha.
never entertained west. Yeah.
West of Sydney.
But it was like an Indian wedding, so that was interesting. It was very long, but very colourful.
Oh.
You know, yeah,
Cool.
You see, this is the second time I've heard you describe it as long.
it was long,
What do you mean? Like, how long?
like 5 or 6 hours or something.
That's not
Yeah,
long.
but there was a lot of like in between parts where he was just saying stuff that we didn't really understand. Yeah.
Hang on. But
Lot
5 or
of
6 hours
prayer.
for the actual, like, ceremony.
Yeah. Not,
That's
Oh,
long,
not,
right?
okay. Sorry.
I was like hanging around and dancing and stuff. There was
wait,
none of
hold
that.
for the ceremony or for the reception for the entire day.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
Well, we pretty much left after the ceremony, so because
For the ceremony alone, 6 hours is a decent time. Very decent time.
I'll say.
But like the after party kind of thing is happening today. I'm not at it, but it's like out in the country.
Wow. They really drag it out, don't they?
Well, that's more like the western side, you know, so that they can actually have like a dancing like celebration kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
right,
just like
right.
the big ceremony and all that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't witness any, like, sick-ass Bollywood dancing, you know, where they, like, chuck
No,
the legs
I was
together?
hoping.
Wow,
I was
sorry.
hoping for that, and like the dust that the dust with
The
like,
dust!
colours.
Yeah.
Yellow dust.
That's awesome.
But it was
no.
inside, so yeah.
Oh, damn. Oh, well. For the uninitiated, this is Cinema Effect, a podcast where we normally review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, probably other places I don't even know about, to be honest. But please subscribe and all those things if you enjoy the show. There's also a new, I actually don't know how new it is, to be honest, but there's a new thing feature on Spotify where you can now rate Spotify shows out of 5 stars on podcasts. So give us a Spotify rating. Chuck us a 5-star rating on Spotify for sure. I must admit, I did try and do it myself and couldn't really figure it out on desktop, so I don't know what the deal with that is. But it does exist. I think on mobile you can figure it out. So yeah, that's a thing now. So feel free to, do us a favor, chuck us a solid. And of course, follow the Instagram page, all that good stuff. But this week, it's all about celebrating the year that was for cinema and Cinema Effect itself with this awards evening. Let's get the festivities, that's a word, underway with our first segment of the evening, which is, of course, our top 5 movies of 2022
Whoa.
so far.
Okay.
So far. Of course, always, there's movies coming out we haven't seen yet. We're trying our best here.
Yeah. Sure.
All that sort of stuff. So, as we have in previous years, we have a point system, if you're not aware. So, This will help us determine a definitive combined ranking of the best movies of the Cinema Effect podcast. But how it works is we each have our own individual top 5 movies of the year. We'll go around, take turns, number 5, number 4, so on. The film, for each of us that places 5th, gets 1 point, 4th, 2 points, until you get to 1st, which gets 5 points. And then you combine the numbers. We sort of roughly figure it out on the spot. And then that's how you get a definitive movie of the year. All right. With all that out of the way, let's actually get into the meat of this thing. Top 5 movies of the year. I'm going to start off, as always, with Jaden.
Is that as always, or is that just last year?
And I think, actually, I can't remember the year before, but I think I did it in intro order, so.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Do I start with honorable mentions? How's this work, or do I do that?
However you like. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I'll do a couple shout outs because shout outs from the show are very esteemed honors. Got to give it the first one to Triple R. I mean, just banger of a movie. But unfortunately, just couldn't squeeze his way in the top 5 just because opinion, obviously. Also, Decision to Leave. Andy might be a bit disappointed this one so low. That was also another banger. And also Prey. From those people at Disney. It was banging. The best Predator movie we've ever got, I would even say. So that was awesome.
That's a crazy sentence in 2022, isn't it?
What?
That we got the best Predator movie of all time in 2022. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, yeah. Do I give my 5th one now, or do I pass around?
I don't know. Have you got honorable mentions, Fitzy, or
nothing that just missed out?
No, because it's part of the the mystery. What missed out, what didn't miss out.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll reveal that soon.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. I was so close to putting Turning Red on here just to get it, Jane. I was so close. I was really going to do it. Okay, that's all good. Jane, what's your 5th favorite movie of 2022?
Bro, last week you told me to put an honorable mentions. You said that you always have honorable mentions, and now you're backing out on me.
I know. I wasn't as enthusiastic about them as I thought, but for TV, we'll get some. Yeah,
that's true.
Number 5 for me goes to a movie that I watched this week in preparation for the show, which is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. The Nick Cage, rather. Sorry.
You wish it was Nick Cave.
Yeah. The Nick Cage film with Pedro in it is really phenomenal. Just incredibly funny, witty, meta, so very meta as well. Like the process of that Nick and Pedro's characters go through in the film, and like the kind of journey they go on, and then they start like, we should write a movie, and as they talk about that movie, it starts relating to the actual film it's in, and it's all just a fun time. It's really great. It was a strong 9 out of 10. It was a very good film. In number 5 for me.
Excellent. How did you watch this? Is it on a streaming service?
No, I rented it.
Damn. Fitzy, number 5.
Number 5 on my top 5 movies of 2022 is Top Gun Maverick. Good movie. It's got Tom Cruise. I don't know if you know. It was very intense. It was very exciting. Tom Cruise is like a teacher. He's teaching all these, the new kids at the academy, the flighting,
The flight fighting?
Fighting academy? Yeah, cool.
A Top Gun.
Yeah. They have to like do all these intense, practice maneuvers, and everything like seems kind of impossible, but Tom Cruise is like pushing them to the limit, and then they actually get into like this massive situation where their abilities are tested by the forces of nature and by the opposing enemy, the looming enemy. And it's actually like a really great emotional like continuation as well of like the first one's story with his friend Goose. You got the son there, Miles Teller. And Miles Teller's obviously pissed at him.
Is that who Miles Teller is? Oh.
Yeah, come on, dude.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
But they have a great like relationship and chemistry in the movie. And yeah, the movie is just an excellent time. So Tom Cruise all the way, Top Gun Maverick, number 5. Yeah.
Excellent. Absolutely. Tom Cruise all the way, all caps. My number 5 is a last minute addition here. Did not expect this at all, and that's it's a documentary called Senior on Netflix. This documentary produced by Robert Downey Jr., all about his dad. And I did not watch this with any intent of I should watch this before the podcast. By when Jane and I were talking last week, I was pretty locked in with my list at that point, but I just threw this on Thursday night, and man, it found a place here because it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. I sort of found it quite inspiring in a way, actually, getting to spend so much time with, Robert Downey Sr., who I didn't know anything about him at all. He's a director, a filmmaker, mostly from the 60s and 70s, and sort of spending a lot of intimate time with him, sort of just walking around. He's just sort of talking about, you get to see his mind and how he works as a director. And because they're sort of, the idea is that for some of the documentary, they're sort of shooting stuff and editing stuff, and he's sort of doing it as sort of a big last project for him. And just sort of getting to hear him talk about how he directs and edits and cuts things together. It really, for me, it was really interesting, first of all, because I love listening to interviews with directors and stuff, but even a level deeper than that, it was quite demystifying to the whole directorial process. I thought, just hearing this guy talk about, oh yeah, we should get this shot of this duck here because it looks cool, and then we'll edit it in here. I just thought that was really interesting from a filmmaker side, and so I was engaged by that already. But then I had no idea, dude. I had no idea the last 30 minutes of this thing was gonna come out deeply philosophical and quite emotional. I was just having a good time learning about this dude I didn't know anything about, and seeing a bit of Robert Downey Jr. in there is always cool. And then it took a turn. I was like, holy shit, this is quite impactful as well. So that was very surprising. I definitely, really good documentary. I would definitely recommend it. That's why it's number 5 on my list for sure. Number 4, Jaden.
Number 4 for me goes to Nick Cave in This Much I Know to Be True. The Andrew Dominic kind of music documentary I spoke about earlier this year on Ruby. Just really brilliant. It's, I would say it's a things for fans, but I think on Letterboxd people say anyone can watch it. Really, no. You need to know Nick's journey and appreciate his music to kind of actually get into it. Andrew Dominic does a fantastic job directing real life stuff, as he did with the 2016 documentary. And it is just, it's just beautiful. It is just 80% live renditions of songs from the album Carnage and Ghosteen. Mainly Carnage, I think. But it is phenomenal. The little talking head bits we get in between, and kind of the just some of the insights into his mind and some of the tragedy that he's faced personally and the effect it's had. It is just really brilliant. Nick Cave to me is one of the top people in the world. So yeah, that's number 4.
Excellent choice. I know how much you love that one. Fitzy, number 4.
Number 4 is The Northman, Robert Eggers. This movie is kind of, I don't know, I think it's actually a bit different from his other 2 films, because his other 2 films have, that is The Lighthouse and The Witch, they have stronger atmosphere, and they have better pacing and more horror-ish vibes. This is a Viking epic. It's a much bigger film, and it's just a good revenge film in general. It's main positives are just I don't know, the incredible scope of the journey, I guess, and just the capturing the landscape or the cinematography, and the story itself is pretty cool too, pretty unexpected. It is quite a fun movie. So yeah, The Northman.
The Northman. Good choice. You watched it this week, didn't you, Jaden?
I did, yeah. Hoping it could squeeze its way into the top 5. Oh wait, that's a spoiler. I'm sorry.
Oh,
no,
damn!
Didn't make it for me. No.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh well.
It's a banger though. But yeah, no, it's not as strong as The Witch for me.
Very good, very good. My number 4 is a film that I'm sure will return, and that's The Batman. And I mean, everyone knows The Batman. We all saw it. It's great. It's a great movie. I really wanted to try and rewatch it before this, and just didn't make the time, unfortunately. But I don't know. We did a whole episode about it as well, so go listen to that. But it's terrific. It's terrific. I love Robin Pattinson. I love the world. It's definitely, to me, like, Matt Reeves is terrific, obviously, and he brings like a whole new level of. It's the most like cinematic Batman I think we've seen, even more so than Nolan in some ways stylistically. And for me, like, this film, I think it's great. It's not a Nolan killer for me yet, and but this new Batman series franchise, whatever, this new iteration of the character, I think it has the potential to become that at some point for sure, but not quite there yet. But yeah, dude, it's freaking awesome. It's cinema. It's fantastic. It's like peak comic book genre in this day and age, especially. So yeah, the Batman number 4 for me. Let's go to number 3, Jaden.
Number 3 is where this list is going to get a bit contentious amongst the
Oh
amongst the
my god.
population.
I'm ready to go.
Did you
Jaden. I'm ready to
say
fight.
that you're... Wow.
Andy specifically is going to hate this. This is one of 2 films that I watched from 2022 that I actually managed to rewatch because it's just fucking awesome, and that is Netflix's the Gray Man with Ryan Gosling. This movie is so fucking awesome, just awesome. There's so many things I would change with it, but it is at its core a fantastic film, and like it's just really the dialogue is the only thing that needs to be altered. Some of the action needs to be toned down and replaced with like a suaveness and a smoothness to kind of get that actual like kind of spy feel to it rather than an action film. But it's phenomenal. I think the story's great. I think if the dialogue was tweaked and those other 2 things were done, like I think it'd be recognized as a top action movie of the decade. I think obviously it's easy to trash on the Russo brothers with the Avengers and Cherry and whatever, and say they make big movies. Like, this is a big movie, yeah. But I thought this was awesome. Just genuinely, lots of globetrotting. That opening Bangkok sequence is brilliant. Just in terms of tone and kind of style, and had the rest of the film kind of match that, I think it could have been a 10. And it could have been pushed higher in this list, and just in general opinion as well. Yeah, The Grey Man.
Would you say it's great, man?
No, I was going to say that.
It is great, man. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, you did a great job. I feel like I keep getting sold on this movie, and you've just done it again, like, perfectly. And then I'm just sort of like, I need to actually watch it though. Like, I keep losing my train of thought with it. I think, Fitzy, what gets bronze for you?
Bronze. So, I didn't know we were doing the awards this week. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know till Tuesday. So, I rewatched The Batman without even knowing that we're doing the awards. And yeah, it was great. It's very, extremely solid, just detective story, detectiving, It's, it feels very like a cool HBO like detective kind of show. I feel like there's this like whole section of the movie, like 40-50 minutes or something, where what's his name? The Riddler? Is he actually the Riddler? It just feels weird to call him the Riddler. Because like I think of like Jim Carrey, but
right, yeah.
But there's this whole section of the movie where he's not even there, and it's just about the Batman and Gordon trying to uncover like the the corruption at the heart of Gotham in all these different the mobs and the institutions and stuff. And yeah, that's awesome. And the movie's just awesome. So the Batman is number 3 for me now. I like it even more now. So yeah.
Excellent. All right. My number 3 is Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. What can you say for me other than Ryan Johnson's done it again, man? He's just. I don't know if I could pick a favorite between this and Knives Out. I don't know. I really want to rewatch it. I really want to rewatch Knives Out as well. I just feel like those movies are just blasts. Like, I feel like more so than a lot of modern movies, I feel like I could just chuck them on again and again. the mystery is the whole thing is just it's just terrific. It's just such a good time. Seeing in the cinema was fantastic, although it was very weird seeing the Netflix logo at Village. You know what I mean? That was interesting. But yeah, the cast. I can't say enough amazing things about Daniel Craig as this character, man. He is just. It's a career defining performance, and that's coming from the dude who played James Bond for like 15 years. His portrayal of that character is just so entertaining. It's fantastic. And the thing that continues to surprise me with this series, it's the same sort of, I guess, core idea that the first one followed as well, is that we did the whole, which I really enjoyed, let's guess the killer in Glass Onion. But the whole thing with these plots that sort of just make them, especially when you compare it to See How They Run, which we did last week, like that just makes Rian Johnson's plot so much more explosive and engaging, in my opinion. It's just that you don't even understand. You can't predict it because you don't even understand what you're trying to solve in the movie ever. Like until that's the mystery of the film is trying to understand what the mystery is in the film. And I think, if I recall, I think that the first one was pretty similar in that way as well, when it sort of switched throughout the acts as well. So yeah, just a really surprising watch, and it's terrific. Absolutely. Highly recommend all around, for sure. All right, let's go to the silver medal, I guess. Jaden, number 2.
Silver medal for me goes to Ty West's X. Haven't got around to Pearl yet, so I'm not sure if that would have placed anywhere on this list or higher.
Is that out and about here?
I'm honestly not sure.
I haven't seen anything.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, X was right up my alley. Love is a strong word for Ty West because he has a film that I hate. Not hate, but Ty West is someone that I quite appreciate. And so going into this, I was looking for a great film, and it kind of seemed like it'd pique all my interest. A kind of 70s-esque slasher about making porn.
Yeah,
we all went together to the cinemas, which was fun. I think that was also a fun part of the experience. I think Mia Goth was fantastic in the film as well, as always. So was Kid Cudi, Scott Muscudi, who's made his regular appearance on the show now.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Also appears on my Twitter feed a lot now, despite not liking any of his stuff. Yeah.
Julia?
I don't know. X was just a really great ride. Just really fun, gory stuff. And I'm keen for Pearl and Maxine.
Yeah, so Maxine, I did see that. I had no idea. That's the sequel, right? That's crazy. Wow. Good for Ty West. He's building his own little indie franchise here, which is fantastic. I don't really see much of that at all these days. So good for him. My favourite part was going to the cinema with you guys and just the orgasmic sounds blasting throughout the speaker. There's were the only people there.
I had to close the door like 30 minutes in because no one closed it.
I know. Dude, they didn't give a shit there. Fitzy, number 2.
The silver medal goes to Ambulance. Ambulance is fantastic, and not just because of the drones. I'm not going to talk about the drones because I've already talked about that. But I actually really enjoy just the characters are cool, the acting is great, but also just the fun and the mechanics of the ambulance itself, just crashing into all the cop cars around LA and everything in LA. And the Michael Bayness of all the characters, I feel like this is the kind of movie where everyone says fuckface, like a million times. Like yells at everyone else.
Yeah.
But then the story is also heartwarming, which isn't like par for the course for a Michael Bay film, really. It's not really a usual addition in Bay's filmography, I don't think. I think Six Underground was a film I watched that was probably even in some ways more technically impressive in its action than this was. That opening, there's an opening car chase scene in Paris, which is probably even better than the ambulance in Ambulance. But the story of Ambulance actually got to be in it, the characters somehow connected me, even though it's a bit clunky and a bit melodramatic or whatever. I think it's cool and it works. And I think the soundtrack is also really cool as well. So yeah, there's a lot I love about Ambulance. Not just the drones, but the drones as well. That's 70% of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
You know, I rewatched Transformers 4 and 5 this week, and it's kind of where you see they start to explore with drones.
Oh yeah,
It's
the
just
origins.
interesting to see how balls to the wall he goes with it, 5 years after.
Dude, in 80 years, film schools are going to go back and study Michael Bay's evolution of the drone. They're going to be like, in these scenes in Transformers The Last Night, 2017, you can begin to see. It's like, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be dead. My number 2, dude, number 1 and 2 was so hard. Toss up, any day of the week could be either of them. But I went with The Menu as my number 2. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Mark Mylod is just proven himself again to be an exceptional director.
Who's that again?
Directed every list your favorite Succession episode. He directed it, and he's done it again. And a lot of that you can feel that throughout it as well. It does feel quite Succession in a lot of ways, particularly in how I think how the actors are directed. I sort of felt that, and also just actors in it. But I had such a good time. It's entertaining. I don't know. It's very Succession in terms of how it's cleverly balances it being sort of satirical and making fun of the pretentious, and basically it makes fun of basically all of its characters, but you still take them seriously and you still believe in them, and that's exactly that's perfect. That's exactly what Succession does. That's what The Menu does as well, and it just being in this, no pun intended, like really bite-sized form in this really fast-moving film that's just incredibly entertaining. And for me, I was thinking about, I think it's pretty hard to deny it's a really good movie, but I was trying to think about why I love it so much. And I honestly think because I went to see it with Luke, and he said that he'd seen a bit of the trailer, and the trailer gave away that certain. You've seen the trailer, right, Jaden?
Yeah,
you remember it?
Kind of. And I have a feeling, without saying what you're going to say, I have a feeling I might know what it kind of gives away and what Speaker was referring to.
It gives away that the film is something. It gives away what the film is, which I didn't know, basically, I guess. So if you go into it, you got to go into it knowing as little as possible, in my opinion, because not that it takes away from the enjoyment necessarily, but me going into it completely blind, the film switches into becoming something a bit genre-wise I had no idea it was going to do, which I think the trailer just doesn't even... I think the trailer just pretends it's meant to be obvious, it's not even trying to hide it. But yeah, so I think that's what really elevated it for me, where I was I was so invested in the ride of it as opposed to just knowing of it, tonally where it was going to end up, sort of. So, but yeah, fantastic movie. Ray Fiennes, dude, the MVP out here, always. He delivers again. So absolutely, The Menu, my number 2 for sure. All right, let's get to it. The high and mighty number 1 position, Jaden.
Number 1 for me has been cemented in this spot since March. You've heard it mentioned twice already, and that's the Batman. We did do a whole episode on it, so go back and listen to our thoughts there, I guess. This is the second film that I watched, that I was able to rewatch from 2022, that I could bring myself to do. It's just endlessly entertaining. Take everything else from it. It's technical prowess. It's acting. It's all everything else from it. It is just endlessly entertaining to watch as well. I know that's some people disagree with that because it's not cracking jokes constantly. And that was a criticism that came out quite vocally around the time of release from a lot of people. But I think it is. I think, and it's like Liam said, there are portions of this film where the main villain isn't even there for an extended amount of times, and it is just continuously engaging. I think it's awesome. I think Patterson has done a fantastic job as the character of as both Bruce Wayne and as Batman. We don't see too much Bruce Wayne, but I think he's a great Bruce Wayne so far as well. But he's also cemented himself as top 2 Batman to me, at least. Michael Giacchino does wondrous things with music, man. Looking at the behind the scenes this time around is awesome. It's not the best behind the scenes I've seen, but it does a lot to kind of to show how much effort it does take to kind of do some of this stuff, especially the car sequence was one of the other main things. Even building that Batmobile is quite an interesting story. yeah, dude, the Batman is just like I don't. When I saw this in March, I was like, I don't think anything can take the spot, and nothing has as of yet. So we'll see if any of the other remaining films on my list do it eventually. But for now, and most likely for a long time, this is my number one of the year.
Excellent. Press X to doubt on anything taking its spot for you, I think. I need to watch that behind the scenes. Really looking forward to that. Fantastic. Okay. And we reviewed the Batman, so I don't know. It might come up again. Just saying. Liam, number one.
Number one, the gold medal. Number one is Jordan Peele's Nope, which I'm guessing was number 6 for you guys, and you just didn't fit it in.
Number 24, maybe? No.
Yeah, number 7.
So I can find the exact number. Number 26 for me, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I said 6, so there was a 6 there.
Yeah, close enough.
Nope is the coolest fucking film ever made, of the 2020s at least. It's sci-fi, horror, western, it's also a drama about grief, and it's a bit comedic, It just has everything, and it succeeds in all of the genres that it tackles. And it's a very smart film, it's a unique take on a UFO and a Steven Spielberg kind of film. It's very Jaws-y. The alien, or the object, I guess, functions in that kind of way where it's always like creeping up, and it's always, it's always kind of a big threat. And I don't know, I just love like every second of it. So it is like my favorite film of the 2020s so far. I think it's just like an absolute surreal, like dream kind of thing. It's like the idea is so interesting to me as well. And some of the sequences with the what do they call it in the film? They call it the
I assume you're talking about the monkey.
No, not the monkey. The the object.
Oh, yeah. The saucer, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like the scene where they all get gobbled up and they're like screaming in like the in the belly, I guess, in the intestine, is that's really terrifying. When I saw that in the cinema, that was like, wow. I don't think this blockbuster would do this, but it is just a great, massive, great blockbuster film. Yeah, I just enjoyed the hell out of it on a rewatch as well. I think the dynamic between, the quiet kind of Western character kind of brother and a kind of loud, obnoxious sister is great. I think, the supporting characters are really cool. You have the retail guy, you have the camera guy. They all every crew needs those 4 characters. It's a masterpiece to me. So, yeah.
Huge praise. And, dude, huge shout out. I already said it. Huge shout out to the monkey scenes. Oh, my Lord.
Bro,
Oh, yeah.
I was talking about this earlier in the week. The Gordy scenes are phenomenal. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Like if you can make an hour and half movie out of those Gordy scenes and keep everything that made it so fantastic, I'll give that shit an 11.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
like that stuff was awesome.
I want Jordan to do what Ty West is doing and build out the Nope universe and get Gordy prequels. Absolutely.
I love Gordy. And I also like the idea how like Gordy connects to the object. Like the bad miracle idea is something that I haven't seen before, but it's something that like is kind of the concept of so many movies. Like people get into all these crazy situations that are like, they're miraculous, but they're not in a good way. So there is a lot to that movie. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. My number one is Top Gun Maverick. What a movie! This movie rules. It's my favorite cinema experience of the year, no doubt. And I don't know, I really want to rewatch it, but I just never expected to like it this much. It captures basically everything I liked the first Top Gun when we reviewed it, but like it captures everything that's good about that movie and makes it amazing. And then the most obvious example is, of course, the aerial photography and everything there that Tom Cruise and co do, because it's just unbelievable. Like it all being shot in camera, like that was the reason I wanted to see the film. That's why I was hyped after the trailers, and the final product is delivered in spades in that regard, for the dogfighting and all that sort of stuff as well. But
There's dogfighting in that film? No way.
yeah, dude, I don't know. It's awesome. I always sort of think back to, for some reason, I have the comparison of like watching the third act of that film in the cinema. I feel like, to me, to try and in some way describe the experience, was sort of what I imagine it was like to watch the Death Star run in 1977 in the theater. It sort of made me self-aware in that way of like, I could never watch I could never be in that place and time, obviously, for Star Wars, but this felt like the closest I'll ever get. Like it was really felt that special when I'm sitting there watching and how well executed it is. And even, I mean, no spoilers, but like even the ending sort of feels very New Hope as well. So yeah, dude, it's just it's just a movie-ass movie, you know? It's just, you want a big blockbuster movie, it delivers in every respect. Absolutely. How do we do the points now? I feel like it's sort of been obvious in the past.
Well, the Batman.
I think the
tricky.
Batman takes
definitely
it
wins with like
because
10
it's
points.
10 points.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yep. You're
Top
absolutely
Gun
right.
has 8, right? Because you gave it a third, Liam?
You're
Yeah.
the fifth.
Oh, you gave it 5th. What?
Oh yeah.
Did you? I felt like you mentioned. Okay. So that's 6
Yeah.
points on that anyway.
But then we had no other overlap, right? I don't think so.
So that makes it Liam's choice of Nope. That gets 5 points. Top
Batman,
Gun,
Top
Nope.
Gun, Nope.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the top 3.
Yeah, we
Yep.
do top 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can figure out the whole rest of it if I were to go back and listen, but I'm not doing that now. But yeah, excellent. Okay, so we got the Batman, we got Top Gun Maverick, and then we got Nope as the top 5.
Top three.
Top three. Damn it. Movies combined ranking. Excellent.
Who came out on top?
Very, very good.
My choice.
Mm.
I know.
Your choice.
I'm a bit bummed out. I genuinely thought Fitzy would put Top Gun higher. So it's all your fault.
It was almost not in my top 5. I put it in
Okay.
today.
Okay. Now, it's time for our top 3 TV series of 2022. Exact same thing. I mean, we can do the points if we want, but I sort of expect our answers to be wildly different, that it won't really matter, if that makes sense. So, yeah, we can dive into the top 3 TV shows. To clarify, for a TV show to qualify, it needs to have had a season released in 2022. I got to say, looking at this, dude, I could have used a top 5 for this. This was hard.
Well, something that was Boys season 3 this year. I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Until Spooky said.
Wow.
That probably works its way
crazy.
into my top 3 then.
Oh, shit.
No, I'll stick with what I have.
Okay, all right. Jaden, introduce us to it then.
Well, I'll give honourable mentions first to the boys, because it probably would have been there had I not forgotten it. But I also want to give a shout out to Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man only started airing, 10 weeks ago. So it's not finished its run yet. I thought this was just a bit of dumb fun. This guy turns into a chainsaw, and kills devils rather. But episode 7 or 8 rolled around and it had a massive dramatic hit, and it did something I never could have expected. And it looks like there's actually going to be like genuinely good storytelling from this show. And I'm very, very keen to like I was there, happy to watch it, give it a 7, call it a day. But what happened in that episode 8, it's made me like the most excited for the TV show like that I could have been. So they're my honorable mentions. But third for me goes to Love, Death and Robots season 3. I spoke about it a few weeks ago in our highlights of the week. I think it's the most consistent series of Love, Death and Robots. It's got some amazing high points, and like even the low points are just kind of average rather than being weak kind of entries. Jabara being the kind of standout of the lot. But even like one of the ones that I love that seems to be kind of not favored is one called In Vaulted Halls Entombed, which kind of has this like Lovecraftian creature, but it does concern like the military, and whenever the military is involved, the episode does tend to get negatively reviewed because people hate the military these days.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but there's a lot of strong entries in that. Great stories. Even Finch's is superb. Not I'm not saying even Finch as if it's bad, but Finch's is awesome. But yeah, that's my number 3.
Even David Fincher produced something good.
I know, imagine that, dude.
Incredible. All right, Fitzy, take us to any honourable mentions if you like as well, but number 3.
Honorable mentions are The Rehearsal, House of the Dragon, and a show that I binged within like 24 hours, like the night and then the next morning. I slept and then the next morning I finished it. Which is called The Mole, which was a Netflix series that dropped. And basically like contestants have to like a survivor type thing, like contestants have to do challenges for money and they have to increase the prize pool. And there's a mole who's like sabotaging all the challenges, and you have to try and vote on like what the characteristics of the mole. Anyway, it's not like high TV, but it was a very fun show.
It's a reality show?
Yeah, that's really a
Okay,
reality show.
gotcha.
Yeah. But number 3 goes to one of the shows I finished this week for the show, Andor, which was great, which was really great. The story of like especially involving Stalin, of like having to use like, you know, kind of questionable tactics to like counter the empire, the power of the empire, was really cool. It was like a kind of dark side to the rebellion, you know. But yeah, overall, it's like Andor, the story with like cutscene in here is really cool. I was talking with Jane about it. I'm so stupid though, because I thought like, so the main heist of the show in episode 6, where they steal the payroll, I thought they were saying they're stealing like payroll information, like the information of like employees of like the empire. So I was like, why are they stealing, like why are they putting all this importance on like stealing information? But no, they stole a bunch of money, and then, you know,
Yeah.
the idea was to like increase the oppression of the rebellion, so that the oppression of the empire, so that rebellion would spring up, which is a really cool idea. And yeah, in general, the themes of hope, you know, in the show are really well executed, and the characters are great and stuff. So yeah, Andor.
Excellent. Rebellions are built on hope. Believe it or not.
Unfortunately, made me want to rewatch Rogue One, which is maybe the only downside. Yeah.
But you got to watch after season 2.
You didn't like Rogue One?
The season finale.
What's yours?
Terrible takes out here. All right. I'll give one honourable mention, just because giving any more would, I think, spoil the list. So I'll say The Last Kingdom for sure. Great show. If you're into medieval fantasy, historical fiction sort of stuff, highly recommend it for sure. It really, with its final season this year, really stuck the landing and cemented itself as being this really satisfying sort of decade-spanning story, this expansive narrative that really paid off in the end. So it was quite an achievement, actually. I quite liked it. Number 3, sticking with Star Wars. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi for me. It is. And and look, especially compared to some other options I had, is this the best show? Like, is this the 3rd best show I watched this year? No, absolutely not. Like, purely quality-wise, it really doesn't belong on this top 3. I acknowledge that totally. It's got its issues. I did all the reviews. If you could give a shit, you can go and watch them. But I don't know. I felt wrong not putting it here, just for its personal significance to me. I watched it twice, and I just really liked it. I think the acting was fantastic. You know, technical things you can break down. We've done that ad nauseum. But overall, just the feeling it left me with was happiness. It was joy. I really, really enjoyed the show. It was pure Star Wars in a lot of ways that people want to outgrow now, as evidenced by Andor, which I totally respect, and I like Andor a lot too. But to me, it's like just the pure root of Star Wars, and just being this fun adventure that explores these iconic characters in new ways that I thought was really well done. So yeah, for sure. And it was another thing where, like, comparing it to another Star Wars show, Tales of the Jedi was also definitely better, purely quality-wise. I don't know, but I just felt like Obi-Wan needed a place on this list, especially considering I also loved the social element of it this year. Like, I don't know if that's unfair, like, criteria to include on the list, but I don't know. I loved the 5 weeks it was airing and just chatting about it with everyone and doing the videos and the comments. Like, I just had a great time with the show and everything surrounding it this year, for sure. So I needed to get it on here somewhere. Okay. Number 2. Let's get to the real quality stuff now, Jaden.
Quality is questionable with my number 2
Okay.
and your number 3. But
Oh, shit, really?
no, so it's not the same thing. I was just saying that they're both
I'm sorry. I actually really thought you... Never mind.
No. My number 3 goes to a Netflix anime series called Romantic Killer. The first episode of this is hot garbage. I watched the first 12 minutes of it and I hated it. And I was ready to drop it, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just push my way through it. And it ended up paying off. It's only 12 episodes. I finished it in I don't know, a day and a bit probably. It's really cringy. There's a lot of cringe shit in there. But that's anime for you.
Jeez, Jen. Did you like it?
No, but the kind the what surprised me the most about this show was the kind of characters. Because they all kind of start off as archetypes, but then it does what anime doesn't usually do, and it branches them out, which is great. Considering it's only 12 episodes and what the characters are, the way they develop each of them is really interesting. Not interesting, sorry, but it's just cool. Not cool. I don't know what the fucking word is. It's nice. It's just a nice show to watch. And the drama it does take on is quite serious, and it's it is genuinely upsetting at points. Which is another thing that just shocked me after how shit that first episode was. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, unless you like romance animes or I don't know, slice of life shit. It's not really slice of life. It's got a lot of fantasy elements. It's set in the real world though. It's just got there's a touch of magic. I don't know. It's a fun show, I guess. Yeah.
You really sold me, Jen. You did a great
I'm
job.
gonna watch it now. This is some reverse psychology. Huh?
Yeah, I know. Oh god, it's actually a masterpiece, but he's trying to intrigue you. Okay, Fitzy, number 2.
Number 2 is the Boys season 3. Yeah, Boys season 3 was a banger. Definitely the best season for me. Definitely the best, just exploration of one of the best superhero shows, movies in general, content media in general. It was just I think the show's peak of intelligence of what they can do with these characters. And Soldier Boy, he was a fucking all-time great character. He was amazing. I love Soldier Boy. The stakes were just, elevated, I guess, compared to that. Yeah, it was just a natural progression, but it was perfect. It was a great season.
Okay, my number 2. I sort of didn't want to choose it because we did a whole episode, but it belongs here for me. It's House of the Dragon. I thought it was fantastic. Go and listen to the whole episode. We spoke about it for 90 minutes or something. Yeah, man. Return to Game of Thrones. Return to the world of amazing George world building, amazing acting, amazing production design, fantastic narrative and everything like that, dude. Yeah, it's just incredibly high quality television, just HBO just firing on all cylinders as they always do. So there's no doubt also that's elevated in my mind because it was just that amazing experience which I really value of the 10 weeks of 1 hour episodes. It's just, I love sitting down every Monday to watch an episode of that show, and I feel like a lot of that magic, I know it's weird because I was going to say it's been lost, but every show does weekly stuff now. It's not that. I don't know. This is something about HBO to me that just really, when you sit down every week to watch it, you just know what you get. You know you're going to get something exceptional, in my opinion. So, yeah, no, House of the Dragon, for sure. Great to be back with Game of Thrones. Everyone's back on this. Everyone likes it again. Thank Christ, Okay, except Jane. All right. Let's go to our top shows of the year. Number 1, Jaden.
One for me is it was an obvious choice. It was the only this top show was the only show that I was like, this has to be on my top 3. The rest of them I was struggling to I was like, I don't know what to do here. It's something that's been mentioned before by Liam, who binged it all in 2 days apparently, and that's Andor. I think what it does to characters that I didn't give a shit about, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't care about either, is awesome. I think the way that it continues to build Star Wars lore by going deeper rather than going bigger is great. I think the Gilroys did a fantastic job writing. I love the sets. I love shooting on location. It just works. I think a lot of people go, well, can you tell? And I think you can tell. I don't think you can there is just such a distinct quality, but when there's a lived-in built environment, or just something that exists there rather than on the volume or on a green screen. At least on a you can build a stage up as much as you want, but like when you're there, you're there. I think everything nearly everything in the show pays off. I think that there's one massive loose thread that they introduced early on that they didn't tug full all the way through. But to me, that's alright, because I think I think the emotional and the payoff that we get each week, not each week, but at the end of each arc, like as episode 3 hits, as episode 6 hits, as episode 10 I think was and then as episode 12 hits, like each of those moments is just fucking massive, and that parade in episode 12 is one of my favorite moments of media just of the year. I think it's awesome. So yeah, Andor is my top 1.
Excellent. I mean, no doubt, you can definitely tell that they said death to the volume on this one. Fitzy, number 1.
Number 1. Number 1 is a little show that I started at some point this year. I didn't finish it, but I came back to it this week because I remember I was like really loving it. I don't know why I stopped it. I just do it sometimes, but it is. It's called The Bear, and it is a show about cooking, about restaurants. It's got this guy he worked at like top restaurants in the world, and basically has to come back to his brother's restaurant. His brother died. So he comes back to run his restaurant, and it's basically in chaos. So he has to like bring it back to order, kind of. And yeah, the show is absolutely just a 10 out of 10 show. I mean, the characters are either fascinating or hilarious. It unveils the main character slowly throughout the season in such an interesting way. There's just fascinating character dynamics between Kami and Richie, I guess, and just the whole restaurant, the interactions between them. And it's such an authentic feeling, portrait of like a restaurant environment. It's just so like chaotic and just well shot, fast takes and, yelling and that kind of thing. And it's just incredible. It's an incredible show. It's perfect. And yeah, I'd recommend it to anyone. It's really great.
Fantastic. It was on my watch list, but wow, that's high praise.
What's it called? You said The Bear.
It's called The Bear. It's set in Chicago.
Oh, the comedy drama series?
It's comedy-ish.
Okay, the Disney one. I had a feeling it might have been this, but I wasn't. I had no idea that was about cooking.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a generic comedy, but it's a very intense show most of the time.
Yeah, excellent. My number 1 show of the year is The White Lotus. This show, I love it. I love everything about it. I had to put it here because there were some other top shows this year for sure, quality-wise, but it was just such a surprise to me, and I had such a good time watching it as a result of that it just sort of elevated it in my mind. I think it's probably the best purely directed show I've seen in a long time in terms of casting. Mike White is the creator, writer, director, and he also, I listened to an interview and he edits all the episodes too. And you can feel that coherency throughout the whole thing, how it comes from his mind, and everything from the casting to the way the actors are directed. I can't really, it's so hard to describe, and I failed to describe it well when I spoke about it on Highlights a few months ago, because you just have to watch it and do like a scene by scene breakdown of you can tell where every shot is so deliberately placed and where all the actors are delivering their nuances in their performances that are meant to hit very specific comedic beats that are so hyper precise. It's incredibly well executed. So, and that's sort of the elements that work together to create a show that just, just sitting down to watch it is just hilarious. A really compelling mystery. And you get to know its characters quite intimately as well. They're very well fleshed out characters. By the end, it's 6 or 7 episodes depending on the season. And by the end, for this year's season, by the end, like amazing cast, and you just know everyone inside and out. You feel like by only in terms of their personality, by only spending like I don't know 7 days with them at this random hotel. Like it's so well thought out in that way as well. So yeah, dude, I thought it was fantastic. The photography is stunning. If you're into like, I don't know, it sort of also fulfills that enjoyment of like, if you like travel documentaries as well, like just got gorgeous. Like, yeah, let's just cut to goddamn Sicily looking gorgeous for like 20 seconds. Hell yeah, I'll take that. It works. It's great. So yeah, The White Lotus is fantastic. That's it. I don't think, there's no combined winner there, I guess, because did we have any crossover except Andor? Yeah, Andor, I guess, would win.
Well, so where's Andor land for you then? Because I'm shocked that it wasn't even an honourable mention for you.
Andor would be maybe 7th or 8th.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like, dude, I had, it was really hard. I had 1883. I had Better Call Saul. I couldn't even say like that. That is outrageous that Better Call Saul's not on my list. It's exceptional. But I think the reason it's not there is just because Better Call Saul has been amazing for 7 years and its final season was great and it stuck the landing totally. But like, it just wasn't as surprising to me as these other new shows, I guess. That's probably the only justification I could give. So yeah, all right. As always, now we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you, what are your favourite movies and TV shows of 2022 to get you involved in, of course, this conversation we've been having? Aidan said, starting on the TV side, he gave comprehensive answers here, but starting on TV, Aidan says, Severance was very good. It just beats Hot D for me, which is House of the Dragon, of course. Stranger Things 4 is an honourable mention and still very good, but putting originality and story first, you'd have to put Severance. That's another one on the short list for me. I don't think any of us have seen that, have we?
No.
Cool. Okay. Then in terms of movies, Aidan says, nope, just beats the Batman. So he's right there with you, Fitzy.
It's camaraderie. Thank you, Aidan.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Good choices all around. It was a good year all around for sure. And there's some more to come here. Luke says, looking through what limited entries I have on Letterboxd, I would say that my favourite TV show of 2022 was Wednesday. Oh shit, really? It was nice to break off from the Marvel train that is finally tiring me out. Moon Knight was good, but Wednesday was just a nice palate cleanser. No other TV show I watched was really that good, except maybe The Boys or Kenobi. Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Dairy Girls, Umbrella Academy were all kind of let down, so not as good as they could have been.
Dairy Girl surprised me. I haven't seen season 3 yet, but it surprised me that he's listed that as a letdown.
What about... Have you guys seen Wednesday?
No, but that was like the most watched Netflix show like of all time.
Yeah, it tipped off fucking Stranger Things' crown. It bet
like
out Stranger Things.
The most hours binged on a show in like an amount of time, like a week.
Really? Okay, so it was big. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, TikTok's kind of killed any interest I had in it.
As it does for basically everything for you.
Not everything, but a little bit. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Is it just general, whatever her name is, simping?
No, that's not the issue. I mean, I've got no issue with that.
Yeah, I got no issue.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it's just that one of the sequences in it was taken and just made into a dance, and you just hear like the audio, but the wrong audio, just constantly. And TikTok does sound awful. TikTok has this obsession with speeding up songs as well, and I just can't stand it.
Oh yeah,
and like it's just overlaid on it as well, and it's just terrible.
Luke's favourite movie of 2022 would be The Batman. Although I think I had more fun watching 2 other films. I watched Nope in a cinema alone with my cousin at night, which was really fun. As I'm sure Zach knows, I had an absolute blast watching Violet Night. I sure do. Luke would not shut up walking out of that theater about how incredible Violet Night was. It was hilarious. It was fantastic. While Batman is probably a better film, the other 2 were fun to watch. The Marvel movies were okay. Thor could have been better on reflection. So could have Doctor Strange. The Menu also deserves a shout out. Perhaps you'll actually read my review for that this time. No, it's on the Discord. It's Discord content incentive. People need to join the Discord so they can read Luke's review for The Menu. It's great. Perhaps you'll actually... Oh, no, I just read that. Enola Holmes 2 was trash. Damn. The Marvel specials were a pleasant surprise as well. I enjoyed them all. Glass Onion also deserves a shout out.
Spooky just going through everything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's our Marvel touchstone because I don't think Marvel comes up anywhere else for us. As a bit of a bonus, my favourite Cinema Effect episode of the year is episode 120. I wonder why that might be.
I can elaborate on that later.
Please do.
Yeah.
Oh, later. Okay.
Yeah.
Not on air?
No, when we get to our questions of our favourite episodes, I can elaborate on Spooky's favourite episode.
Cool. That's good because I had no idea what he was talking about, but I'm excited now. Jake said, my favourite movie of the year has to be The Batman, although I thoroughly enjoyed Glass Onion and gave it the same rating, a 9 out of 10. I knew what to expect going into Glass Onion, whereas the darkness of the Batman alongside the modern and realistic take on the Discord mod villain in the film. The cinematography of the film is the best I've seen this year and possibly ever. The score lifted it to another level by interacting with the aesthetic of the movie as well. An honourable mention for film of the year has to be Nope. God damn, what's up with all the Nope love out here? I have to cut that out. Although it didn't blow my mind and have me engaged like other Jordan Peele film Get Out, it was an interesting take on a sci-fi alien movie with a phenomenal cast. Excellent. Yeah, he did really like Nope. But other than that, you can see I basically get all my film taste from Jake. I just copy him. Excellent. Andy said, I haven't seen many 2022 films, but I think I should have. I did better than last year, though. What really sucks is that half of my visits to the cinema in 2022 are either screenings of older films restored in 4K or foreign indie films from 2021 because Australian releases them way too fucking late. Of course, I saw those 2021 movies during early 2022, if that helps. Andy, that's why we love your feedback. You know, you got that different perspective there. It's good. Anyways, at least I have enough films to select my top 5 of 2022. So Andy's done the whole shebang here. His 5th film is X, as we talked about. His 4th film is The Quiet Girl. They speak fucking Irish for 70% of that movie in your face, Liam.
Oh, yeah. This film was actually part of my course syllabus for one of my subjects.
Oh, really?
Well, the book was as well, and I've read the book. And it was my last day in Melbourne. I was like, should I go watch the film? I'm like, no, I want to go home. You know? But I've read the book, Andy, and it was a good book. So
excellent. Number 3 is The Batman. Number 2 is Bones and All, which hasn't got a shout out yet. I don't think any of us. Have you seen it, Fitzy?
No.
Okay, cool. That's fine then. And number 1 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Boo! Boo this man.
No,
Boo this man.
Did you not read the rest of it?
Not yet.
He goes, he goes, not.
Okay.
Have you not read it at all? Sorry.
I'm reading it now, right now. Shit. Okay, so did I boo prematurely? Okay, let's go. Not really. Okay, I'm not that fucking stupid. Speaking as an Asian, what a heck of an overrated film. God damn, I really did prematurely. It's not even the best A24 film. My actual best film of 2022 is Park Chan-wook's Decision to Leave. There we go. Jaden can vouch for me that this is a good film. Will these be counted to the votes? No. Sorry.
Decision to Leave is a good film. I can tell you that much.
Excellent. So you do approve Andy's real number 1?
Yeah. They're way too long. But it's like, it is what it is. It's Park for you.
Fair enough. See, that's what I get for not reading these ahead of time. I stumble through them and then I miss Andy's joke. I just start booing him. But yeah, I am glad that Everything Everywhere All at Once was only mentioned once in this episode. And it was sarcastic, so I'm fine with it. Thanks,
sorry, Liam, you've seen it as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, and none of you like it. You, Liam, Andy don't like it.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was alright.
Considering it's like
I'm the same.
Considering it's the number 1 fucking movie of like on Letterboxd, I think it's taken Parasite's crown. Like that's nuts to me.
You need to watch it. We'll see. We'll get your take, Jaden.
Yeah.
I feel like Jaden will like it. I feel like he'll. I don't know. I don't want to presume, but I feel like he'll like it more than us for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Now it's time to look back at the year that was with our Cinema Effect 2022 award categories. We once again have an array of categories related to the entire 3rd season of Cinema Effect, all very prestigious, of course. So we'll start off with a variety of awards. We've all selected winners for them individually for everything we've reviewed this year. So, and then we'll get into a few celebrating the podcast and other fun stuff. So this is where shit gets real. Our first category, as always, the traditional opening category of the awards, is your best and worst performance of all the films Cinema Effect reviewed this year. Jaden, why don't you kick us off with best and worst performance?
This is kind of difficult. I think we had a really strong year. Just 'cause it's like there's nothing easy to really like pin bad things on. There's no American Marys or Artemis Fowls or whatnots.
That's true.
Best performance for me. I feel like I need to shout out Hanks. I mean, like for someone that's been so against him in his products, I need to say Tom Hanks and Captain Phillips is fucking awesome. But my top performance goes to RDJ in Tropic Thunder. He plays a black man and an Australian, and he does it perfectly. So there you go. There's my top. Worst performance, I genuinely couldn't think of one. Like I went through, I looked through all the episodes. I was like, I don't know. Roberts in Ocean 11s. I wrote. I'm not sure if it's actually bad, but like I think I didn't like her in that movie. Is she even in that movie? I don't know. She is.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, she is. Yeah. Fuck it. She can get worst performance, even though it's not that bad.
Worst performance related to how much she was paid for it. Maybe.
Yeah. But by giving it a quantitative, kind of analysis.
Yeah. Wild. All right, Fitzy, what about you?
I have a somewhat uninteresting answer for best performance, which is Robert Pattinson in Batman. Hear me out. I think looking at like the great performances of the year, Robert Pattinson is the one which is like most opposite to his normal self. There's like no Robert Pattinson in Batman. He's not like the troll funny guy. Robert De Niro in Heat, he's a little bit of Robert De Niro because he's an introvert, and so is Al Pacino. But Robert Pattinson plays the complete opposite of his personality, which is like so impressive. So Robert Pattinson in Batman. Worst, I was similar to Jane. I couldn't really think of much, but I just came up with Charlize Theron in Prometheus because I just remember that performance being the most exaggerated shit ever. So yeah, that's my worst ones.
Cool. Really good criteria for picking Pattinson as well. I had a really hard time with worst as well, to where I actually had to go back and re-listen to a few which I thought might have been contenders, and that's where I found it. My worst was the brother or the son, I don't know, whatever. He's both, I guess, in The Guest. Real bad. But do I remember it now?
I had a feeling you were going to pick on this movie somehow. I was like, watch Zach just manage to get this movie in here and just talk shit.
Hey, you're like I didn't choose Dan Stevens. I'm just saying. But yeah. I had to. I re-listened and I was just like, hang on, did I vaguely feel like I didn't like someone in that movie? And that's what I said. Best. There were some bangers, but I've got to give it to Ralph Fiennes in Bruges. Incredible. Just. I couldn't stop. The smile was going off my goddamn face. It was unbelievable. He was hilarious. And Ralph Fiennes, always incredible. So yeah, Al Pacino in Heat as well. Fantastic. All right, let's go to best score, Jaden.
This was a massive year for scores in terms of films we reviewed on the show.
Absolutely.
I got 4 written down here, and I was like, I'll pick it on the day. Purely because of how much I can re-listen to it, it'd probably be Tenet. But that could go. Like this could have gone like one of like 10 ways, honestly. Yeah, Tenet probably just edges it out because like I have that shit on all the time. But yeah, we've spoken about it for 2 hours in that one episode, so I mean, I won't go over it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. It's slow the week,
Yeah,
everyone gets it.
Yeah,
100%. I was quick to say mine's also Tenet. Fantastic score. Yeah. Banging. For the same reason, Shane, I know that score inside and out, so I have to choose it. But also, huge shout out to Johan Johansson's work on Sicario as well. Sensational. All right, Fitzy.
My best score is WALL-E, which is a film that I feel is like pretty much almost like ran by its score. Like every instance of there's hardly any dialogue in the film, so it's pretty much just all little sounds and it's really it really is a magic soundtrack score. So yeah, WALL-E.
Absolutely.
Choice.
It's a good answer. I still can't believe there are a few of these I couldn't believe we did this year, and that was one of them. I was like, what? That was this year?
Sure.
Best cinematography.
Yeah, this was another difficult one because this could have gone one of 10 ways again. Purely for how much it. I don't want to say for artistic quality, oh god, I don't know. like Parasite. I'll say Parasite. I think there's better things, but I think Parasite is probably like the most deliberate I have here on this shortlist. I think it manages to both conjure up beautiful images, but also meaningful things. The way it's blocked, the way it's everything is kind of. I saw this really cool analysis in a short video where, like, you know how in the film they talk about crossing the line and about how the father never crosses the line, but everyone else does. They drew a bunch of like arbitrary bullshit lines on the screen, but it kind of makes sense, and it shows how in each shot people are always over the line apart from the dad, which is an awesome little thing. But yeah, I'll give that to Parasite.
Excellent. And just the layout of the house and everything they did there, building
Yeah, it's
that
stunning
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
that flood scene as well. Like the flood is probably one of my favorite things I've seen as well.
Yeah, that's right. Fitzy.
Best cinematography goes to Alien. Alien is an excellently photographed movie. I feel like you'd take so many instances of like just take a screenshot, that'd be great. Backdrop. But yeah, it's such a, I don't know, is it like full, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the interiors of the ship feel so full, like they're all like analog. It just looks so cool, and they're shot just so well. So yeah, that's my best.
Hard to argue with, except I will.
Ooh.
And I'm going to argue with Fitzy especially because Sicario is my winner for best cinematography. Roger Deakins just pulling out all the stops, man. What a gorgeous movie. That shot, we talked about in the review, that shot of the sunset and the soldiers walking.
Yeah, the sunset it'll never leave my mind. Soldiers walking. I get it. They're walking into the sunset.
It'll never leave my mind.
They're not walking into they're walking into darkness.
Oh, it's dark. Yeah,
it's them dropping below the line.
Okay, cool.
Oh my God.
Cool.
And the score and like the best song in the film playing at the same time too. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, it's orgasmic stuff. So,
have you seen the behind the scenes and like the lighting rigs that Roger builds? With like the wheels and all awesome. The bulbs in them. It's fucking awesome.
Oh my God. It's amazing, Liam, isn't it?
Okay, next.
All right. Let's go to best director.
Best director. I mean, dude, once again, just so difficult. But I will give this to my boy Guillermo del Toro for Nightmare Alley. I think it's a really holistic product, and I think it's really holistic in his vision. Like everything that is presented in that film is from him. I can just tell, following him on Twitter and just knowing his personality, seeing his previous films, you can just tell that everything he does in that film, both stylistically, action-wise, story-wise, it feels like he's really in there playing with it, and it feels awesome. I think the way that he's able to combine all this shit is brilliant. I think like the expansiveness of the sets and the way he uses them, because the like that outdoor little hedge thing and the carnival itself, I think the way that he can kind of play with the characters in those environments and the way he puts them together, I think it's awesome. I think yeah,
it's a great answer. It's a great answer in what was a tough category for sure. What did you come up with, Fitzy?
Well, I kind of maybe misinterpreted the question because I thought it just meant like best director in general, and not for the film, but you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
But Michael Mann is my best director.
That could work anyway. I mean,
yeah,
100%.
Best director for Heat. Yeah, I don't know, he's a great director. I feel like I am obliged to put him on because I listen to like mostly commentary for Heat as well, and like just hearing his thoughts on the matter, like the level of intentionality in each kind of scene. Listening to that was really special. So yeah, I'll give it to Michael Mann.
Did you get that with the Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Mine is in a year where we reviewed a Christopher Nolan movie. I can't believe I didn't choose him. But I've got to give it to Martin McDonagh, and it's because I already really liked his film, 3 Billboards. But that was a film I really liked, but didn't really know anything about him. Couldn't have told you who directed it before we watched In Bruges, So, but watching In Bruges, like that film immediately, like elevated Martin to like. Even though I've still got a long ways to go with, well, not a long ways, but we've got a few films to see.
It's like 4.
Yeah, it's not many, but just that film alone turned him into like one of my favorite directors, like immediately. overnight. Because it's like, that movie was incredible. Oh, you're telling me he did 3 billboards as well? Oh, shit, done. Like, that's the logic I'm using there. So, yeah, Martin McDonagh is fantastic. And, dude, I'm just so stoked for Banshees. 100%. Dude, but what we covered, like, movies by some of the greatest directors of all time this year. So,
Oh yeah, this was stupid hard.
yeah, 100%. I think, did we do a Scorsese film? I don't remember. I think that might have been lacking. That's all.
I mean, we did Spielberg.
We did pretty much everyone else.
We did Denis, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We did Steven Soderbergh, yeah. A lot. We did him a lot. Most director, Steven Soderbergh.
We did James Cameron.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Sure. All right, what about best and worst CG? This one, because I feel like we just didn't do many big action CG films this year compared to other years. So this was tricky.
You see, so when talking about worst CG, it's always cheap to go with the old options. So that's why, like, in my criteria, I was like, can't just say, like, I don't know, Alien 3, because that's just dated CG. It's not necessarily bad. Bad CG, worst CG of the year for me is House of the Dragon. Though some of those dragons look wanked, man. Like especially the flying ones. And anything shot on volume looks shit. I'll always stand by that. Volume's arse. I never want to see it. Actually, that's a lie. They use it okay in Andor for the screens on.
Oh, that doesn't count. Yeah, it's just a background. Yeah.
Dude, that is
TV back there.
That is what its application should be. Not these little circular environments where you just constrict shit. But yeah, some of those overhead shots of King's Landing as well, which is wank. Like sure, the show looked nice at points. Like that massive dragon, sure, it looked great. But considering it's a HBO show, considering the budget it has, considering it's a Game of Thrones thing, there was too many letdowns. Best I would give to Covenant, probably. I think the Alien Covenant. I think the Alien Covenant looks fantastic. I think the world looks fantastic. I think the scene where they're dropping all this shit is awesome. The space stuff looks great. Yeah, I'd say Covenant.
It's a good answer. When you say drop, is that the scene where the aliens the ship's leaving?
When David gets there and he's bombs the fucking city.
Oh, sorry. Yes, yeah. I was thinking of I really the look of the scene and the way the aliens implemented it. When it's scaling the ship and it's trying to leave.
Yeah.
That's good stuff for sure. What about you, Fitzy?
Well, I was gonna say Alien 3, but Jaden did that, and also I'm looking this up, and apparently it wasn't CG. It was something else. But fuck it, I'll say Alien 3 because it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But best is also in the Alien franchise. I think Prometheus has great CGI, like the fucking the big white men,
the engineer,
engineers. But also there's a bunch of cool CGI in Prometheus. There's the proto xenomorphs, whatever they are. So yeah, I'll give it to Prometheus.
I'm taking the question very literally because the best and worst CGI is Tropic Thunder because it's how they use the terrible CGI to make it amazing is why it's fantastic. That opening scene of the terrible explosions and shit, but it's oh my god, it's so perfect, it's so deliberate, it's fantastic, it adds to the whole experience. Yeah, for sure. The comedy, everything. So yeah, best and worst CGI, Tropic Thunder for me. What about best and worst editing?
This was a tough one for me. Couldn't remember shit. Worst I gave to Magic Mike purely because of grading. For those outdoor scenes. I think Magic Mike's fantastically edited structurally though. But that color grading is fucking horrendous, and I never want to see anything like it again. Best editing, I'm not actually sure if it's good editing, but I think I gave it to Pride and Prejudice just because I feel like it was always breezy, it was always easy to just go through. Period films. I like a good period film, but some they're easy to do bad for me because they just do get boring sometimes. But I was never bored with Pride and Prejudice. So I think the way that it goes scene to scene, shot to shot, structure to structure, and I think Pride and Prejudice was pretty good if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, that's a really good answer actually.
My best says Jaws ? And my worst says Ocean's 8 ?
Well, I was trying to think, did Ocean's 8 have bad editing? I was like,
Well, that's why the question marks now. Okay. But I think it was a bit clunky. Yeah, I think I remember it being a bit clunky. And Jaws is just, Jaws is Jaws. Jaws is great editing. So
There weren't a lot of standouts this year in this category for me, but I'll give best to The Hurt Locker because I think the film really relies on that to build its tension. And it's one of those things where like, and you could say that for a lot of the films this year where it's like, you don't notice the editing, so that makes it amazing, But particularly in The Hurt Locker, when we talked about in that review, that cut to the supermarket. It's literally, it's weird to give it best editing in part because of one cut, but God, that was an incredible cut. Amazing choice right there. So yeah, and the whole thing, the tension, it's probably outside of just the general rawness of the photography and stuff and the subject matter, like is probably what makes it work the most, I think. And then worst, probably unfair, but I'm going to say Ocean's 11 because I hate the transitions. I hate them.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah, terrible. That one where they go in the elevator and it's like the goddamn whatever this is. Can't stand that shit. What's it called? Like the door something? I don't know. It's got a name. All right. Best and worst action sequence.
Worst for me goes to House of the Dragon as well. That scene of Matt Smith storming the beach with the Crab King. Not great. And any of the volume work, like those that bridge scene as well, where they try to like have it. I mean, I don't think I'm not sure if any action actually went down on that bridge. I can't remember. But no. Okay, I guess.
I mean, the crab scene's a huge action scene though. Yeah.
Yeah, but that one. It just wasn't satisfying, considering Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Wait, I agree. I thought I was the one arguing that was bad, though. I thought you thought that was good.
No, I remember you did argue that point, and I'm not sure if I argued against you during there, but I've definitely come around to your point if I did argue against it.
Okay.
No, I think you're 100% right. Yeah. Best. Once again, it's quite hard. We did a decent amount of action. And then you have to say Sicario, the border crossing, obligatory shout out. But I want to say the sniper shootout in Hurt Locker is probably the best one for me, considering it's minimal in action. But it's just a fantastic sequence of just long, drawn out pauses, but also just fucking awesome.
Absolutely, Liam.
Worst is Alien 3. They fight the Xenomorph, but
fucking. Pick on Alien 3 more. I dare you.
Yeah, I will. But like, okay. Well, I didn't watch Alien 4. I feel like there has to be some of the categories here which Alien 4 applies to, because that was like
Alien 4's got better action than 3.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. There you go. But the best, I put the Heat ending, not the Heat shootout, but the ending between at the airport between Al Pacino and De Niro, just because I feel like it works. It maybe is better, like just overall tension and build to it. The action in the shootout is like more explosive and has a great sense of like environment and like like architecture, I guess. But yeah, the Heat ending is miraculous. So that's my choice.
It sure is. My best is Tenet's. How do you even? I know, just Tenet. But the goddamn hand-to-hand combat that's shot 4 ways.
Dude,
incredible. Yeah, it was hard to choose between that and the car chase, but I ended up going with that because I think I'm probably. The car chase probably gets knocked down a little bit for me because the second time you watch it in reverse, I'm sort of spending my whole brain, even the third time I watched it, was still sort of spending the whole time trying to figure out what the fuck's happening. So I couldn't really appreciate the cars as much as the goddamn hand-to-hand stuff. So yeah, absolutely. And then the worst, it's Alien 3. It's the whole third act of Alien 3 where they're just running in circles around the prison. That shit sucked.
You watched the wrong cut.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay, best and worst accent.
This was easy for me. For worst, fucking Pacino in Scarface was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. Hooah. Fucking hooah. Fuck off, man. It was horrible. He's lucky he didn't get worse performance from me. That accent's... Oh, God, dude. I don't what was he thinking? What was he thinking, man? Shit pissed me off, man. Best goes to RDJ, once again. I think he did a pretty convincing... stereotypical kind of, African American accent, and I thought the Aussie was pretty decent in it that he had.
Yeah.
He did 2 accents in one go. I mean, how do you not give it to him?
Yeah. I think that's probably the thing, right? Like, I think both of the accents individually were pretty good, but the fact he's doing them both. I'll just say my worst is also Al Pacino.
What are you on?
Yeah. There's that. And my best, dude, I've just got to keep just on an absolute streak with this category. It's got to be Saoirse Ronan delivering her own accent as the best accent. Are you kidding me? Incredible. Like, you're telling me that she can deliver like the most authentic US 1850s accent?
I didn't know that we could do this. Use their own accents, because I like Colin Farrell in Bruges was on my short list, but I was like, that's just his voice.
That's a great point. I think future years we're never going to remember, but let's clarify that best accent is just the goddamn it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be who they really are. It's just like what they're doing with their voice either way, you know? So yeah, Saoirse Ronan for sure there. What about you, Fitzy?
Maine, I don't know what you guys are talking about, Maine. Okay. Okay, so the worst is Don Cheadle in Ocean's movies. I don't know. I couldn't figure out what it was.
No way.
He's just
that's terrible. You're
annoying.
right.
But
that's really bad.
The best is Al Pacino in Scarface, you know? Maine? Okay. I'm just saying. Fuck, I can't do it. It's such an amazing accent. I don't know what you guys are on. It's fucking...
Wait, is this not a joke? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
It's incredible.
Okay. It's fine. Yep.
Bro, Maine, I don't know. You know in Cuba?
Cuba. It's not
in
Cuba, it's Cuba.
Yeah.
Al Pacino is an icon, you know? Scarface? Oh my god. Maine. I can't even do it because it's such an amazing accent. Like, it's so unique.
Oh, God. All right. All right. Next, we got worst moment in a movie that we reviewed this year.
I was struggling with this one, but then I remembered a specific moment from LA Confidential. Is that the movie?
Yeah, sure.
Where Russell Crowe hits his girlfriend, and that just pissed me off.
Yeah.
And like it just changed my whole interpretation of the character in the film. Not interpretation, but like my perspective rather. And it took the film down a lot for me just from that one simple action. I was like, that worst moment goes to that.
Mine was the Train to Busan baby flashback ending. That was terrible. It was like all white, and it was like, it was really like emotional and just shit. Yeah, so the Train to Busan ending, the movie sucked. The ending sucked. I mean,
wait, what? I don't remember.
No, neither do I. I've got no idea.
Well, like he's like becoming a zombie, and then he remembers like when he was having a baby or something, and it's all like white, like he's in heaven or something. It's just really bad, dude.
Wow, I don't remember it.
No, yeah, because it's bad. Or I guess he kills himself. I don't know. I hate that movie. Sucks.
You don't like Train to Bussy?
No, Bussy sucks, dude. I hate that.
Can you put Train to New York next year, or is it 2 years away?
Anyway, that's the worst.
Take that as a no. My worst is the Ocean's 8 ending where George Clooney was clearly meant to be there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But it was like he forgot to show up or something. He just didn't get the call to go to set that day or something. They're just like, we'll just shoot it anyway. Yeah,
it's legit shocking.
That was weird. Yeah.
He's even listed in the cast of Ocean's 8.
Really?
Like,
no.
Yeah, like
for being a photo.
Yeah, like a photo just by himself.
Oh, it's terrible.
Because like everyone's expecting him to be there. Even fucking Google's expecting him to be there.
All right, let's get to it. The big one, Best Picture. Our favourite movie we reviewed this year.
Easy one for me, Batman. Yeah.
Fitzy, yeah.
Easy one for me, Heat. Yeah.
You guys trying to break me today? I'm dying at it. Okay, mine is... Okay, well, mine's not so easy. Sorry. I've got to say In Bruges, probably. I don't know. Same reason. I gave it to Martin. It was just a fantastic movie. Didn't know anything about it, so it was a really nice surprise. But yeah, I mean, it's really hard between that, Tenet, and Heat for sure. Like those are the trifecta. But I'll choose In Bruges. Sure, that's good. That was like the most casual delivery across all three of us of the Best Picture award. You know, so good job there. Yeah, but how did you guys feel overall about the selection of films this year?
Too many good films, honestly.
Okay.
Like I know, like we obviously don't try and watch good films. I mean, actually, sorry, Liam probably feels a bit differently because he's struggled a bit this year with Alien 3 and all that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only film I could pick from. That was the thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Like there wasn't really anything disappointing. There was like some that were average.
But how did you guys not pick from Alien 4? Because like Zach, you like really didn't like that movie, didn't you?
No, you gave it a 6.
Oh,
I
really?
gave it a 4 or 3, I think.
Okay.
But it was never. It's horrible. But it was never the worst of anything. I feel.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, no, I agree actually because looking back, there were some mid movies, but overall, definitely lacking the variety of just trash.
Like,
I mean, I don't know. We've only ever reviewed a handful of trash, but like definitely stuff lacking.
We need
on
more
the lower
like
side.
Undertow-ish level stuff.
Yeah, like I think the only
we never
film
need more of that. But
how many? The piano I didn't like is probably like one of the big ones.
Yeah, that's still like
Piano and Alien 4 are like the only ones I didn't like. I think from this year.
Right. There were a lot of really good ones this year for sure. Okay, a few more categories still though related to the show. We've got Best Poll Nominator.
Yeah, this one goes to Zachary. I'm not really sure what you nominated, but I think Liam went on quite a losing streak this year, both between me and you. I think.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, the best.
Yeah, so I had to give it to Zach.
Yeah, I'm the objective winner to be clear, but this is an opinion based category.
I don't by quality of product, no, but like by times one, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. All right, Fitzy, you're definitely going to agree, right?
No, mine goes to Jaden, because like Zach just he picks like
safe choice,
fucking
Jaws.
Yeah, it's like Black Swan. We've seen Black Swan, but Jaden picks like Constantine's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So Jaden,
throw a curveball in there,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. That's like a loser mentality. So for me, who made us watch Scarface and Kung Fu Hustle?
Me.
Both of them?
I think so.
Fitzy wins.
But I don't. Did Liam win a single poll this year? Is the question?
I won polls.
Did you this year? Have you won a poll?
Sure, I did. Sure.
I feel like it's between me and Zach.
You either won 1 or 0, I think.
We're figuring this out right now. Let's have a look.
All right. Yeah, you have a look at that. I'll go to the next one. We got the best question of the show. The extensive amount of research Jade and I did on this category. Hopefully it's paid off some dividends here. I must say, I actually had a fair few.
There were some bangers this year.
There were some really good questions. And most of them we were selected by you guys, so congratulations there. But yeah, what's your favourite?
I got 2 here. I like Worst Nightmare a lot. I thought that was a bit fun,
Absolutely.
It's like we're a film podcast and you randomly throw in one just like, what's your worst nightmare you've ever had? I was like, that's pretty funny. But I think the best one goes to who is the best Tom Cruise wife? Who else is asking that question?
Yeah.
No. So we're at the forefront of this discussion.
How did we expect anyone to answer that? I've got no idea. Yeah, those were both made much.
Imagine if Tom Cruise ran into the show and he was like, actually, I've quite liked Katie Holmes when she was dating me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she was always nice to me. She used to buy me this thing. It's like, all right, come down. She used to go to the supermarket.
Nicole was a bit of a bitch, to be honest.
Yeah, there were some really good ones. I really enjoyed the glass onion discussion. I thought that was a creative question. My idea entirely, by the way. I liked Masterclass as well, but the best one, I think this was Fitzy's, undoubtedly, is planes, trains, or automobiles. Just what a fantastic question. What a spin on the title. It was just, oh my God, the creativity is just incredible, I think that was yours, right, Fitzy?
No. It was definitely Jaden's. And yeah, it's definitely my
Was it?
Yeah, I remember him asking it. But it is also my favorite. I think it was the best question.
God damn, I'm so sorry. Hang on, I just like re-record that and like say Jaden. No? God.
I just didn't remember.
Oh, at least Jaden isn't outraged about it.
Oh, okay, it was me.
Did you get an answer on the polls?
Oh, okay. Dirty Harry? That was yours, wasn't Jaden?
Dirty Harry might have been yours, actually.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I was thinking maybe Dirty Harry. I think, okay, I'll say 1 because I don't think I want anything else. I don't think it won.
Yeah.
Jaws was
Locker
Zach's.
Hurt Locker was Zach's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaws. Okay, I won one maybe.
All right. Best guest episode. We had 3.
We had 3.
Yeah. So there was, Kung Fu Hustle, Piano, and Parasite.
Kung Fu Hustle.
For me, this was easy. Parasite. I thought Parasite was a great episode.
Totally agree.
Bar you being there, bar you not being there, rather.
That's me. It's every week, bar me being there.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. I thought having 2 guests on was unusual. But I thought I think Parasite just lent itself well to discussion. I think the 4 of us spoke well. I got to host that episode as well. So
yeah,
I thought Parasite best guest episode easy.
Totally
Film wasn't
agree.
shit like Piano. So
that helps. Yeah, totally agree. I enjoyed. First of all, I always enjoy when I'm not on, so I can just listen. And stuff. It's fun.
I enjoyed
really
listening to you
that,
guys' discussion last week. It was entertaining.
Oh, good. Yeah. The best part of the show is not being on it.
Yeah.
So we just got to hold out for those moments. Yeah. No, and you guys all did a great job, and I really liked the mix of having like 2 of you and then 2 guests as well. Like the balance there was cool for sure.
Yeah, mine is also Parasite. Definitely, like it just flowed pretty well. Like all 4 of us flowed pretty well. It was probably the best, guest episode we've done. One of the best episodes in general. So yeah, Parasite.
Excellent. So with that, then, what is our favourite episode of Cinema Effect in 2022? And I assume Jaden will tell me the story about Luke's favourite.
Well,
I can elaborate on Dirty Harry now. You see, Dirty Harry was a really impressive achievement. By one of us here. So at approximately 2 a.m. on the day of recording,
you don't have to go into all the details. Let's just say
a specific host of the podcast was violently throwing up in the back of a friend's car. And then he managed to make it to the recording 9 hours later. Perfectly fine.
I was still throwing up in the morning, by the way.
Oh, were you?
Before the podcast.
So Dirty Harry has a very special place in Luke's heart. Because he was the one that delivered our boy home that night. And obviously experienced trauma because of it.
Yeah.
My favorite episode, however, is Tenet. Getting together for Tenet was really fun.
Oh, yeah. Feel about that.
It was like a fucking 2-hour episode or some shit like that.
Glad it had a lasting impact on you.
It was the first time in a room recording together.
First time we've ever seen each other, like, in a room, like, live.
Yeah. Having the ability to pull Tenet up on the screen and talk through it was really awesome.
That was unreal.
Yeah, so my favorite episode goes to Tenet. Recording-wise, anyway. Listening-wise, probably Parasite, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to change my answer, but I probably would if I was, wanted to. But I'll say the Batman because it's always more fun when we have a discussion of like seeing the movie together for some reason. I think it's just
I did not see it with you, just to be clear.
Oh, okay. Well, your spirit,
Glad
your
that
presence,
you guys enjoyed seeing it.
your spirit was there.
I think we went with
excellent.
everyone but you, right? Because you went to see it early, right?
Yeah. I did see it the first night. Yeah.
That's right.
Mm. But yeah, the Batman was good. It was a good discussion. It's pretty chill. So yeah,
cool. Yeah, no, I'm Tenet for sure. Had a blast, and I really need to sit down and sort of just figure out how I'd handle the audio next time because I definitely want to do that again. And then some shout outs were I thought Ocean's 8 was a really good recent one actually, just because I think specifically like the other segments were really packed, and I really liked the piano as well. I really enjoyed talking with Andy about that. Cool. But my favourite moment in the show this year was me botching the episode 100 quiz.
What was that?
Me like creating this whole quiz and then just get like my answers being wrong about how many Tom Cruise movies we reviewed.
Yeah. That was good.
That was terrible. Absolutely awful. But I've got to say, in re-listening to last year's version of this episode, the best thing to happen to the show this year was Jaden getting a microphone. Incredible stuff. Because I got to say, last year's version, it's not unlistenable. It's not good. You know what I mean? And I definitely, over the course of this year, have taken for granted the fact we all have microphones now, and it's amazing. I can't lose perspective of that.
I never thought I was
less
that bad.
audio.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I think I realised how spoiled we are now because going back was hard.
Right. Okay.
Going back was hard.
Fair
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, We did it, guys. That's it for
Wow.
another year of Cinema Effect. Holy shit.
We went long on this one.
We did, but I had a good time. We all appreciate you tuning in to our season finale and for listening at any time throughout the year. Cinema Effect will return, as the MCU credits say, for our 4th season in the
And
new,
final.
In the new year. Dude, that was the thing, dude. How weird is to say that we're going to year 4 of the show.
It's probably like the biggest commitment. It's like the longest commitment I've had. Just like
In my life.
Yeah, in life,
Yeah, just
outside of
post
school.
school. Yeah, post school is like the biggest commitment I've had.
It's unbelievable.
Because of
I
my
know.
uni degree.
Well, it's gonna.
It's
yeah,
longer than
hopefully
my
it'll be
uni
bigger.
degree. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited to announce that it's returning with a whole new cast next year.
Oh yeah, we're
I'm
gonna
replacing
replace
you guys.
replacements.
Yeah. Spooky and Andy coming on full time.
Bro, I'll be happy with that.
Creative differences.
I'll be in like 2 episodes. Yeah.
You see, Zach's painting this as if it's his choice, but we actually walked away. We were sick of his despotic.
Yeah, the union
Control.
made a decision to
Yeah.
move away.
As always, as I say every week, but appreciate my wonderful co-hosts for committing so much of their time every year. Same is, of course, the case this year. We hope you all have a wonderful and safe holiday. Take care out there.
And tell us what you're looking forward to next year in the comments.
Oh, do we need to do a question?
Nah, I feel like we did we do this last year?
So last year, the first episode of the year, the question of the week was, what is your most anticipated
We should
movie
ask,
of?
like give us a review, of the year. What's your rating?
On Spotify, 5 stars.
What's your rating of Cinema Effect Season 3?
Do that in the Discord. I'm not going to post that anywhere, so anyone who does that, listen the whole way. So good for them. All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much, and goodbye.